I'm Gemma and welcome back to another episode. If you're new here, this is a space for honest, intentional conversations with some of the most inspiring voices from Zimbabwe and beyond. Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube and join the growing community of Hello Hi. Today, I am sitting down with someone who has shaped Zimbabwean media for over a decade, a voice many of us know from radio afternoons and cultural conversations. She's a media personality, brand ambassador, and author of the book Be Faithful to Your Happiness. This is a woman who's not just told stories, but helped so many of us find our own. Samantha Vusa, otherwise known as MisRed, welcome to Hello Hi!
Hello Hi!
I am so glad we're making this happen.
I like what you say about intentional conversations, and I think there's not enough of those, and I'm glad that you're creating a space where we can have intentional, wholesome conversations.
Thank you, my girl. And thank you so much for joining. I've been wanting this moment to happen for such a long time.
Thank you.
It's a privilege.
I didn't realize I've done enough for the honor of
girl,
sitting with you.
It's MisRed. It's MisRed, everybody. It's everybody.
Thank you.
Okay, let's dive right in. I think it's always good to just get a little chance to go back to the beginning, before the lights, before the cameras and the microphones and red carpets, and before the rush. Mm-hmm. Samantha, as a little girl, who were you as a little girl before you became this MisRed that we know today?
Yikes. Such a long time ago, by the way. But I always say that, but if I really look at my age, I'm not really that old, but I feel like I'm such an old, just an old soul. Samantha, as a child, she was, I don't know what you call someone who's an introvert, extrovert. So it depends on where I am or who I'm with. But growing up, I think I was a very chilled child in the beginning. And then I think around high school, I became radical. I became wild. I became ungovernable. But also, I just found my voice where you find, in class, in high school, I remember I would be hanging out with the older kids because I had a very mature way of thinking as well. Yeah. So more than anything else, I think when I was younger, I was a little bit quiet. And then as I grew older, I found myself somehow. And then I did a bit too much.
But it's also good. You're finding your boundaries. You're finding the lines.
Yeah, I think that's what growing up is. But, in hindsight, I'm like, well, what were you doing, girl? What was that? And because I'm a mom now, I have so many questions about myself that it's just, God is amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. But I think it's an important journey to go through as well.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And you were talking about finding your voice. And what is one of the earliest memories you have of ever feeling like truly seen or heard, or a moment that you realized, okay, my voice matters?
I had an English teacher, bless his heart. His name was Mr. Volonta. I think he moved to St. George's or something at some point. But he was my English teacher in high school. And he used to encourage me so much. And I used to think, and he said, no, you need to read more, Samantha. You need to write more. You need to... And, it would seem for other people, maybe it was just like a teacher talking to a student. But for me, it really sat in because he said it with so much conviction. And then I had my music teacher, Miss Chitongo. She was amazing. She was always just saying, you know what, you need to just push yourself. And I think that's where I found myself, even in the creative space, through those two teachers. Amazing. At Form 1, when I went into Mr. Volonta's class, everything changed.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Thank you, teachers, as well, because it's such a testament to like an impact you can make.
I think teachers are probably the least respected people, and yet they deserve the most.
100%.
They build and shape our children on a daily basis. They actually spend, I think it's a given 70% more time with children than parents do. Wow. So why not give them the respect that they actually deserve?
100%. A moment for our teachers.
Hey.
Was there a particular moment when you realized that what you were doing wasn't just a job, but a calling?
I don't even know if it's a calling, to be quite honest with you. I always say when you do what you love, you never have to work a day in your life. Yeah. So I'm just living, girl.
Yes, girl.
I had a time when my boss was like, salaries might be late. And I'm like, it's okay. And everyone looked at me like, hey, ma'am. But for me, I genuinely enjoy what I do. I wouldn't necessarily call it a calling. I think we have different seasons of our lives which require different things of us.
100%.
But radio is something that I absolutely love. People ask me, why don't you do TV more? I'm like, I've done TV, but I love radio. I connect with people at such a deep level. I get to, get into their households, into their cars. More so with my show, it's almost like a family because we call them the Russians. So it's so intimate, and I love the intimacy that comes with what I do.
And you can see it and you can feel it when you're doing something that is so clearly you were built for, that's ingrained in you.
Yes, and I can do it with my eyes closed. Like literally, I can just be, and more so, I'm also a producer presenter. I'm not just a presenter who just does the talking. There's the technical side, and I know the technical side very well. So I find every part of it is interesting. I'm now starting to learn how to do sound engineering because that's a passion point, So all of that is just, makes me happy.
I love what you say about seasons as well. There are seasons for things, because I also think we have this thing that it's, as humans, we're always like, okay, you have to have one career and one thing that you're going to do for the rest of your life. And it's this monotonous, confusing thing that I've never understood as a creative, because
life would be so boring. Look at Gemma. I mean, she's doing this podcast.
She's doing a podcast.
She's a celebrated singer, but she's doing this podcast. She wanted to explore something else.
100%.
And I think that's okay too. But people want to make us feel like, no, if you do this, that's all you can do. But that's not it. Life has got so many complexities, so many beautiful angles, so many seasons, and I think everyone should go through every single bit of them.
And be able to change it up if you need to as well.
Hey, change it up, go back to where you were, go forward, left, right, center, go everywhere.
You only get one of these lives, I feel like.
Girl.
What about the flip side of it all? Like, was there ever a moment in your earlier career where you thought, I don't belong here?
Oh, right now I don't feel like I belong here.
Really?
Sounds strange, but I've got such imposter syndrome. Where I can be in certain rooms where they're like heads of state. Like I've been in rooms where they're multiple heads of state. And I'm like, hold up. What am I doing here? What is the reason, And I would have gone there obviously for a job, but I still feel like this cannot be me. This, for the life of me, no ways. People paid me to be here in this room with these people. So I still struggle with heavy, imposter syndrome. Even here, like, what do you mean? I'm sitting down with one of the biggest Zimbabwean artists and some, like...
Girl, I'm like that with you. I'm like,
what do you mean?
It's such a funny thing.
It's crazy, but I still don't fully feel like I belong. And also, I'm someone who's always had to create their own table. Because no one really was open to the idea of me for a very long time. I remember when I started radio, there were such big names already, big, huge names. And I just came in when ZFM had just established. I think I came a year after, and there were big names already. And I'm like, okay, where do I fit in? And no one really could quite place me somewhere. Not to say that they didn't create space for me, but it's just, I was still figuring myself out. I was still trying to understand what my brand means or what my brand is. And for them, they were dealing with big stars. I mean, at the time, Lo was there with Dan and Lo. There was Ruvelico Parenya, these huge names. Tonderai Katsande, Mark Pozzo. These are big people. And I'm just there. And I'm like, oh, okay, where do I fit in? So again, I think for a very long time, because I had to create my own tables as I went, and people didn't see it coming. By the time I hit hard, people were like, oh, okay. So, it's my journey's just been so bizarre.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And it's so interesting what you say about this imposter syndrome, because being in the limelight and being sort of a personality or a public figure, everybody has this very different idea to what you have of yourself, So for everybody else, it's like MisRed, this incredible, successful woman. So it's so funny to hear the other side of like, actually, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you're human. You're going through all the vulnerabilities. You're the one who's gone through all of the failures and all those little dips and
the thing
moments.
Is, no one gets to see them.
100%.
And it's crazy because in my head, I've not arrived yet. By the way, I still have so much to do, and there's so many doors I still need to knock on. And Zimbabwe will have you feeling like you get to a certain point, but you still have to break through it. So when you get to this point, a lot of people become very complacent. But I'm not that girl. I'm still looking to say, okay, maybe in Zimbabwe, I've gotten to a certain point, respectable point. However, there's still the world. There's still Africa to conquer. And where am I?
Absolutely.
I'm nowhere near. So I have really not arrived.
Yes, girl.
Yeah.
But it is true. But you've arrived and you've got so far. You still want to go. You know, those aspirations.
I'm telling you.
And many people watching may dream of working on radio and broadcasting. What skills do you think are essential to succeed behind the microphone today?
That's a good question. So, contrary to what most people may think, radio is funny in that it needs your absolute authenticity. You cannot compete when you're trying to be like someone else, because they will. It's almost like me trying to be like Gemma. There's no one who will do Gemma better than Gemma will do Gemma.
Yeah.
So never try. And I see a lot of people when they come, into the media space, they're trying to imitate someone or something that they've heard previously, and yet there's so much magic in your authenticity. And I just wish more people would do that. So you've got to be authentic. You have to be very well read.
Okay.
So the thing, and I think the misconception as well about radio is that you're just going on, you're just talking about songs, but you need to do the research. You need to understand how the music is made. You need to understand other things, current affairs issues, what is happening in the world. And you need to be prepared every time you get on radio. You do not get, like at my radio station, you do not get on air without giving them a prep sheet and telling them what you're going to talk about. You're not going to just go and wing it.
No.
A lot of people have this idea that it's just vibes and chills, and no. I literally wake up. I'm calling my producer for my show. I'm calling my programs manager, tell him what I'm talking about, tell him which experts we're going to have on the show. If research needs to be done, that's the first thing that I do at home. So I'm literally working from the time I wake up till the time that I get to studio. I think the understanding is just when I get to radio, that's when I start. But it's not. It starts as soon as I wake up. Looking at the environment, what is trending, what was Gemma wearing, what announcements did she make, all of that stuff. I have to always make sure I know what's going on around me, around the world, and it has to be very well researched. Apart from that, you also have to find different angles.
Yeah.
Whereas maybe we could talk about Gemma's beautiful earrings, right? You have to now go and say, okay, gold. Where does gold come from in Zimbabwe? Let's bring it back to Zimbabwe. How many minerals do we actually have in Zimbabwe? Then you make it a little bit more interesting than if we're just going to talk about Gemma's gold earrings.
That's brilliant.
So all of that is things that you have to learn. You have to be very well read. You have to be great at research. You have to be very authentic. And the other skill that I think recently came into the play that a lot of people don't know is you have to be great at social media.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the world is changing, and traditional radio is morphing into something different. Whereas now I'm competing with you.
Yeah.
You know, you'll find people will probably say, oh, let me listen to Gemma at any time that they want to on whatever platforms, rather than listening to radio. So we're now competing. So we have to find a way to transpose everything according to the times.
If you were to pick one thing that you were like, this is the difference between a good and a great radio host, what would that one thing be that separates the two?
Oh, respecting the people that you talk to. You got to have a respect for them. It's just, for me, I'm told you have to speak to one person when you're on radio every time to make it personal. So even if there are millions of people listening to my show, they all feel like I'm talking directly to them. So when you know how to speak to your one listener on a daily basis and make everyone, even if they're multiple people, and make everyone feel like they got a piece of something for them specifically, you're good.
That's an art.
Yeah.
That's an art.
Yeah.
Looking back at your journey from Coke on the Beat to Lake of Stars to anchoring The Rush on ZFM, what would make the younger version of yourself proud?
Yo, everything.
Yes,
I finally got my life together.
Yes.
Because, oh my God, I think everyone thought I was just going to be like a delinquent or something.
I want to hear more about this side of your life at some point, maybe over a glass of wine.
Over a glass of wine. It was crazy. But I'm just so grateful that I managed to put things together. And I think it is true that sometimes it takes a village to raise a child. And if it wasn't for my mom giving up, if it wasn't for my aunts, you know, saying, you know what, don't worry, she'll be fine. My aunts will take me, and I call them all moms because, you know, we don't have a distinction in our culture. Everyone is mom.
Yeah.
So, you know, if they hadn't given, if they had given up on me, it would have been a very different situation. But they're like, you know what, with all this mess that she's bringing, we're still going to love her. And I think that just changed everything. The fact that I got here, the younger me would be very proud.
Yes, girl.
Yeah.
And if you could give her, the younger you, one piece of advice?
It's not that deep.
Okay.
The world is so beautiful. It's not that deep. There's so much to see. And you know, at that age, I think I was in such a rush to just get through everything, do everything. And yet there's so much more to life.
Yeah.
So much more. And even, you know, in my 30s, I'm still discovering new things and I still want to, you know, learn more. The world is so full of surprises. And I would have just probably just said, you know, slow it down. Everything is gonna be okay.
Yes, girl.
Yeah.
You know, there's this version of MisRed that the public sees, this beautiful, polished, confident, unshakable woman. What does the audience not see?
Oh, the hard work.
Yeah.
The sleepless nights.
Yeah, period.
But you know, I think in general, what you see is what you get really online. The only difference is that maybe I'm very private about my family, about my really like deep personal stuff. I think people only know what I want them to know.
Yeah.
I've made it a very intentional thing to just keep that away from people. I think Zimbabweans, when you give them an arm, they want to take the whole, you know.
100%. And I think especially in this industry, privacy is actually a luxury.
It is.
It's such a luxury.
It is. Because I could go for breakfast with my friend, and next thing it's turned into, we saw her with a man.
Yes.
So even my male friends now, they're like, no, we're not trying to go anywhere with you. We love you, but we will love you from afar.
I will FaceTime you,
right?
Yeah, 100%.
So it's because everything can be interpreted differently. You know, we can have a joke, and I realized, I think later on, in the beginning of my career, I was very open about a lot of things, and people would now twist it around and turn it. So when I learned how to be private, I think a lot of stuff stopped filtering out. I had more control about what people knew, what people, 100%. And people may think they know, but do they really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also a big lesson in learning, like, okay, once you surrender something to the public, like you have no control or no choice about how people perceive it. Like that is then up to them.
And,
so it's like, what do I want
unfortunately, in 2026, context is never really something that people try to get.
No.
You'll get a sentence, Gemma speaks, or MisRed speaks.
Yeah.
And it's already a scandal, but no one's trying to understand what is she speaking about. Maybe she speaks at the podcast.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So people now will make everything salacious, even if it's not. So because of the fact that context is no longer important, I try as much as possible to keep things to my chest.
Have you ever felt that there is like this big pressure about maintaining a public image?
Boss, what you see is what you get. Like literally, I have no, like whatever you think, you know, you don't know. So it's things that I've said it's okay for people to know. So I never really have pressure to try and be something that I'm not. I'm on this whole no makeup social media thing. It's very intentional because I want to be able to move around with no makeup and no one will be like, oh.
And also, may we just say, and I've been saying this about 60,000 times before we started, your skin is glowing. I can't see a pore. It's just like smooth. It's giving like, give me your secrets. Give us your secrets.
I have been trying to be intentional about everything. I'm just trying to, if I'm going to go out with no makeup, I want to have the best skin. If I'm going to go out with no wig, I want to have the best hair. I want to have my mental health in check. I mean, online, you would know. They will drag you for the smallest thing. Hey. And they'll forget that you're human, you know. And you still have to go home and, you know, you sit with these emotions. So I want to just be the best version of who I am. And what you see online is literally what you get. Amazing. So in terms of pressure, they used to be. Now it's like, I think I went through the furnace, man. They did everything to me.
The refiner's fire.
They did everything. Now it's like, bring it. What else do you have? Give me some more.
You have to grow thick skin in this industry. And then also, I guess, maybe understanding, like, that's not for me. Like, I'm not even gonna...
And you know who you are, Gemma. At the end of the day, you know exactly who you are. So that never changes because someone has created an opinion of you or they've created a narrative around who they believe you are. I know who I am. So pressure will come, yes. It's very normal. It's human. But it can never dominate who I am because I know who I am.
I think it's also testament to your village again, you know, because you need the people around you who know you and who will also check you and make sure, you know what I mean? You need that community.
Ooh, and I have those people like, girl, that dress you were wearing, you need to burn it. Or, you know, they're very honest with me. I don't have people who be like, oh, you're looking so... No. You need the opposite because it's also in the industry. I find you'll have a lot of people, you know what I mean, just like of course, whatever, and you're like, no, I need somebody who's gonna be like, that's not it.
No, ma'am.
That's not it.
No, ma'am.
Yeah.
What did you have to unlearn to become the woman you are?
I had to stop prioritizing everyone else's opinion about me. It took such a long time because I was, in the era of social media.
Yeah.
It's literally it's a an ecosystem designed around people.
Image.
Yeah. So I really had to learn to just be like, no. What do you feel first?
Yeah.
Are you okay? How does this make you feel? And then keep it moving. Of course, with our work, we obviously have to have stylists, other people who consult and tell us. But if I don't feel like I'm happy with it myself, we are not doing it.
Yeah.
If I feel uncomfortable about it, we're not doing it.
A massive shout out to our sponsor for this episode. Click Send now for quick, instant, and affordable money transfers to Zimbabwe. Big love.
A lot of the branding was towards how I looked. So there was a lot of what's the word? Objectifying of my brand.
Yeah.
Where you'd show a little bit of boob or a little bit of hip, and but that's not who I am. I am this by nature. This is how God made me. But also I was feeding into that hype.
Yeah.
So I had to learn to say, guys, this is not what I'm about. And then everything changed from there as well. So understanding who you are and just being very vocal about advocating for yourself. It's so important. So I had to learn to advocate for myself and take my own thoughts into consideration before everyone else.
Yeah, and not lose Sam in MisRed.
And you can get lost. Do you know these people? Gemma.
Yes.
These people are in Zimbabwe. They'll make you feel like you've made it, you've arrived. And you're like on top of cloud 9 and you're like, yeah. Girl.
Yeah. Ugh. You need somebody to just be like,
we need some coffee or some tea or some wine or something.
Yes. And a little bit of time in Nyanga or something.
So in your head, you might think you're the hottest thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
Proton. But you have to kind of figure yourself out in all of that, because you will lose Samantha whilst trying to pursue MisRed if you're not careful.
It's all a part of that, like sometimes, and I think you'll have to lose to refine, and then when you refine yourself, it's like, I'm never losing you again.
That's it. That's right. And I lost myself for a minute.
It's an easy industry to get sort of pulled in many directions.
Yeah. So you need a Gemma to call you and be like, hey girl, are you okay? Is everything fine?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. How's your family? What's going on?
Yeah.
And that kind of grounds you.
Yeah, 100%. Grounding. Yeah. And then there's the pressure. Let's talk about the pressure of it all. Radio, for example, can be ruthless. Ratings and relevance, and it's such a youth-driven culture that is fast-moving. Have you ever feared becoming irrelevant, or how would you handle that pressure?
When I had a come to Jesus moment with myself, I stopped fearing being relevant. Everything is going so fast right now. We are competing with social media personalities, etc. So, I mean, especially coming from traditional media. Yeah. If that question is still on your mind, you just have to be in your lane. I mean, even the Beyoncés of the world still have moments when they become irrelevant. Yeah. But you have to understand the cycle. So with my team, we actually have a matrix that we know that at this point we are in hibernation mode, and then we start building up, and then we start the cycle again, then we rest. Rest is so important. So being irrelevant for me, it's a time where I can rest and just move away from everyone. I don't even take it as a time to just be like, oh, I'm finished. No, I can never be finished. Me. Yeah.
And that's, I guess, the difference between building a long brand, something that really is going to stand the test of time and become timeless. And I think, even in the music industry, it's constantly this thing of like chasing the next hit, and the song is going to be there for a season, but then there's a new one and a new one.
You see, because even for you have to kind of cycle. And just
I do that as well, so it's good to hear that you do that.
It's definitely there for me, and I think even now I'm in my just chill era, because something is coming up sometime this year. So I'm slowly, gonna just redo. 100%. And every year I always do that. I always make time to rest the brand. Yeah. So important.
I think of it like always as this idea of a wave in the ocean, and that for a wave to be able to propel forward, it has to draw back with the same amount of energy to push forward.
Because I mean, you get tired.
You get burnout.
Burnout is a real thing. I see a couple, no mentions of any names, but I see people and they'll be like, and I'm like, when do you rest? When do you stop and just breathe? When do you stop to, because you also have to kind of evaluate where you are, what you've done. Is it working? Is it not working? At what point do you evaluate?
Yeah. Burnout is is a real thing. Every year I'm like, no burnout 2026.
Yeah. And then you go and you start working every single
like,
day.
No, girl. But it's about also putting those things in place to really recognize. And I think like having a rest period, a designated for me, it's January. Don't call me in January because I probably won't even have my phone. I don't know where it is, but it'll be with somebody else.
Right.
You know, but I've only learned that through the hard way of like not doing that.
And I mean, if you're watching this particular podcast, then, hey, you're learning. You don't have to get you don't have to go through it for you to be like, oh gosh, I burned out. For me, I have two different types of rests. I have my radio rest and then I've got the MisRed brand rest. So I do January like you. Amazing. December I'm working because that's like our busy period. January, you will not find me. And then during the year, there's a period, depending on what's happening with my work, there's a period. You might be able to tell when you go through my appearances. But I always try to make sure that I separate the two. That's number one, the radio side, the MisRed side. But rest is so important for our cycles.
100%. Do you think that the media values age or experience enough?
I think Zimbabwean media values age and experience too much. Right?
Yeah.
There are people who've been on radio 20 years. What are you still doing on radio? At what point do you give the younger guys a chance? You know, you'll find people will prefer big names, and yes, I understand, especially when it's a commercial radio station. Cool. Yeah. But at what point does the younger radio presenter or the younger aspiring radio presenter get a chance to try?
Yeah. True.
We really don't give enough opportunities to young people to get into certain spaces. Zimbabwe is like terrible. Even in corporate Zimbabwe, it's just terrible. Give young people a chance.
Yeah.
They also, like, how are you going to ask for a person who's 21 years old, say you have to have 5 years experience? What are you saying?
Yeah.
What point are they going to have experience if you're not giving them the chance?
It's a very valid point. Now let's talk your book.
Yes, ma'am.
Your book is titled Be Faithful to Your Happiness.
Yes.
It reflects a philosophy that joy and purpose and self-belief aren't destinations, but practices that we must choose every day. I love that as a way of life.
Yeah.
Can I ask, were there seasons in your life where you weren't faithful to your happiness?
Yes.
Yes.
So many. And again, it comes from reflection where I realized, oh, something is wrong there. You know, there's been so many seasons. Within being a mother, there's been different seasons where I failed. There's different seasons where I've done well. But it only comes when you can name the thing and say, this is what it is. I've had to have very honest conversations with myself, very difficult conversations with myself. And so I realized I was having a lot of problems. I wasn't really challenging myself in the space of happiness. I mean, people think it's like we arrive at happiness. We don't. It's seasonal again. Every single step, every single era in your life has a different season. Even happiness changes as you grow. It's never the same thing. Happiness when I was 21 is very different from happiness when I was 31. And when I'm 41, it'll be very different. So every season has its own thing. But there are definitely lots of phases in my life where I was not faithful to my happiness.
It's so true what you're saying about it also shifting, like the idea of happiness. Today, what is your idea of happiness?
A nice bath.
A bath.
Oh, I promise you, just to be able to chill in a different country and just, I love holidaying. I'm like you. And I don't even like the fancy holidaying. I want to just be in a different place, on a beach. I want to have new experiences. That's happiness for me today. Being able to do for my children, that's happiness for me today. Financial security, that is happiness for me today. Whereas 10 years ago, I wasn't it. You know, going for a massage once a week, going for skincare, going for my body scrub, that is happiness. I'm so, very small things make me happy. It's not like the grand, I need like a 10-bedroom house. No. It's if spiritually I'm in the right place, if I have no worries financially, if my kids are happy, if we have the food we want to eat, being able to wake up and say, tomorrow I feel like I want to go to Spain. That's happiness for me. You know, that's
Tomorrow I want to go to Spain.
I want to go to Spain. So being able to afford those things at this point, such a blessing.
Amazing. So we've spoken abroad. Let's talk about our beautiful country, Zimbabwe. Do you think that Zimbabwe celebrates women loudly enough?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, we're in agreement there.
Yeah. We still have so much.
Yeah.
to do. And I think there is a lot of performative empowerment that happens, you know, where like, we are for the women.
Yeah.
Are you really?
Yeah.
You know, not enough policy supports women. Even women in our space, I'll talk of the creative space because that's where we are professionals. There's not enough being done in general to assist women.
Yeah.
So that's how I think women should be celebrated. Give them an opportunity, give them a space at the table. That's how you can celebrate a woman. Women are so brilliant. Being a woman, it's magical. It's a superpower.
Yeah.
And I think if more people were to have women in their spaces, a lot would change. So I genuinely don't believe we celebrate women enough.
Yeah. But I think these conversations are a good place to start. I found it in the music industry as well. Just it's such an interesting, and it was a conversation that the girls sort of really started up last year.
When you had the concert.
When we had the concert at HICC, was this thing of like, why are promoters hosting 1, 2, 3 day concerts, and they're like, oh, we already have a female. You're like, okay, you got like 40 acts.
You can have other females.
And their whole argument is, oh, no, but they don't sell tickets. And so we're like, cool, we'll sell out the HICC, and then you tell us that we can't sell tickets.
And that's how you start those conversations.
You have to.
If people like you don't dare, you have to be daring. You have to have the audacity to say, you know what?
Yeah.
We're just gonna do it. And kudos to you guys because you did it. And hey, next one.
Keep moving and keep growing. In terms of the creative space in Zimbabwe, why do you think Zimbabwean creatives struggle to scale globally?
Where do I start? This is like a place where I'm very, very passionate about. I think first and foremost, the mindset.
Yeah.
That is a big problem for us because again, you know, when a certain blogs post you feel like you've arrived.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Bruv, there's a whole business
to
what you do, and people don't understand the business aspect, the business of music, what it takes, the systems that need to be, you know, created around what you do. From a policy point of view, again, artists are not supported. I mean, artists, the broad, you know, whether it's people who do sculptures, paintings, actors, actresses, musicians, there is no support. And when there is a little bit of support, there's so much bickering that happens. You know, the music side is crazy. It's crazy. And everyone has like these silent competitions and like, you haven't even made it. Why do you have like silent, what is that about? What is that about? Instead of collaborating, collaboration is the new currency. If you can't do that, you know, there's no way you're going to cross over and go to another country and people are going to appreciate you. So it's mindset that's challenging the artists. It's the policy that doesn't support them. It's the infrastructure doesn't even support the creative 100%. Space in Zimbabwe because people take it as a hobby. They don't take it as a profession.
You hit the nail on the head as well when you said also artists understanding that the business side of it and that there aren't all these infrastructures in place in Zim. So it's almost like you either have to curate and create them for your own team and for yourself, but then you're constantly battling things, you know, like even something as simple as showing up somewhere on time and then the show is running hours late and there's no parking for anybody and you know what I mean, it's just like organize, like there's so many things that you'll keep battling, but I think being able to not see a ceiling, but to be able to push through and outgrow things and just maneuver it.
But a couple of you have done it and you've done so well, you know? So I wish if everyone else were to do that and the entire community were to support that, I think it'll be better. I always like looking at the Nigerian system as an example. It's like a really strong system. They support each other. Even if they don't have, they find ways. If someone is releasing an album, all of them are posting about it. Everyone's talking about it. So we need to find some kind of collaboration, cohesion that goes on in the creative space so that we grow, you know? And it's a small country as well. I mean,
we need each other more than anything because, you know, and Nigeria is a great example of like, like if anything's getting released, everybody is so proud of being Nigerian, you know? And I think us Zimbabweans, both at home and in the diaspora, have a power to be able to really, if we were to celebrate and push unashamedly, like it would actually make a difference.
It does make a difference.
100%.
I think also just government just pushing. I think a lot of people don't know soft power happens through governments. That's how they gain soft power. If they want to change the narrative about a country, what you use is the creative space. You push artists. I think Nigerian government kind of used that because they were known for something. But they're like, let's try and, give the creative space some money. And now everything has changed. We have we don't just look at Nigeria, it's, scamming boys or whatever it is. But there's a very different narrative around Nigeria now, which involves the arts. So soft power from a policy point of view from the government works, and it works well. Hollywood is heavily funded by the government of America because they're trying to set a narrative. And we all think America is the greatest land in the world. It's because Hollywood has been funded to do that kind of messaging. So all of that is important.
I'm a big advocate for this idea of that phrase, it's giving Zimbabwe, is used in such a negative context.
We need to shift it.
100% we need to flip it 180.
Zimbabwe.
It's giving Zimbabwe. It's giving Zimbabwe should be the sunsets and the good music and the good weather and Chimani Mani. And
do you know how beautiful this country is? I don't think people even can fathom how beautiful it is. We're just so stuck in the negative narrative that other people have created for us. But here we are, we have an opportunity to correct things and say, hey guys, actually, this is giving Zimbabwe.
This is giving Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
We're changing that. Yeah. And then what's your take on technology? Is AI, digital media empowering African creatives, or is it threatening the traditional platforms?
Again, it's a mindset.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere.
No, it's not. It's coming.
It's not. So you either have to embrace it. It's almost like when, social media people came and radio people were like, no, we're always going to be fresh. And no, they came and now there are other superstars that are there.
Yeah.
So you got to embrace technology in whatever form it comes. So for me, I remember I did a show with an AI. Like we created an AI tool to co-host. Like, what, bring it on. Problem is, my boss loved the idea so much. He's like, actually, maybe we could have AI presenters. Like, whoa.
Absolutely.
Whoa.
No, please.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Relax. But I think technology is not going anywhere. So you either beat them, join them, or you get beaten by it.
But I also think there's an interesting thing where you're talking about like having an AI host. I think people also are now starting to a lot of people are starting to, consumers are craving like the real human moments now. Like even when you find on socials, sometimes you'll post something that's incredibly curated and beautifully filmed or photographed, and then you'll post something on your phone.
And that's what people will love.
People are looking for the person, like they're connecting with that raw authenticity in a way as well, which is encouraging, I think, because
I think so too. So there's still a space for us.
Yeah, there's a space for us.
Human interaction is still very much important.
Yes,
so
100%.
technology will come, but we're still needed.
Yeah, we're needed as well. Yeah. And with podcast streaming, social media, changing the media landscape, what does the future of radio look like to you?
It's interesting. So we've been having this conversation with the team at my workplace, and they're really active in just shifting how radio is seen. I mean, we always, for some reason, my radio station is very forward thinking when it comes to technology. Even when they came onto the scene, they were doing things that people couldn't even imagine doing because everyone was still doing very traditional stuff. So I think the future is so bright. Terrestrial is not going anywhere because if you look at Africa, Africa radio is still the biggest medium in Africa, more than TV, believe it or not. A lot of people don't know this. So for a long time, it's not going anywhere. It's just going to morph into something else. It's just going to just shift, but it's definitely not going to be the same. 5 years from now, we might have a very different conversation around what radio is. You and me might be on the same platform 5 years down the line. We might be doing podcasts together as a form of radio. So it definitely is changing, but we embrace the change.
What would you give as a piece of advice to a young creative entering your industry now?
Learn how to be on the internet. Yeah, the internet is very important. Don't shy away from it. Use it. Sometimes people expect your traditional platforms to give you space. They're not going to. Like I said, they're giving the old people too much time. Please don't fire me yet. They're giving.
Don't fire me. Please.
They're giving the older people who've been there for a longer time more. So you need to create your own space, make your own tables, start a podcast, start small, then grow it. You start by starting.
Yeah.
You know,
start by starting.
You start by starting.
You start by starting.
Right. So don't wait for anyone to make an opportunity for you. Make them. And maybe sometimes I'll find there's other people that I know who are on radio now who didn't start on radio. They were seen on social media and someone's like, hey, I want that person on radio.
Yeah.
So just create your own platforms. Just have the audacity.
Yeah, have the audacity. And I think it also goes back to what you were saying at the beginning about also being so authentic in yourself, because someone will see something in you that's needed. There's always a space, you know?
Yes, there is always space.
Yeah, because everybody's so unique if we actually allow ourselves to be, if we do.
Yeah.
And then finally, what would you like people to say about you once you've left, once you've gone?
I don't know. That's such a complicated question, because I'm all for, you know, people come and go.
Yeah.
You know, they really do come and go. But sometimes I think it's okay to just say, for the time that I was here, I did what I could, you know, and then we keep it moving. If people remember me, hey, great. But I always want to be seen as someone who pioneered, someone who had the audacity, someone who was never scared to try.
Yeah.
Because every time, I'm always the one who tries. Before MTV was allowing people from Zimbabwe in the media space to go, I was like, okay, I know someone from... There's always a Zimbabwean, like a step towards. There's always a Zimbabwean somewhere. So I always research and say, okay, which Zimbabwean is there? Then I'll look for the Zimbabwean and I'll say, okay, how can I do this? So I was always the person who was looking to do firsts.
Yeah.
Right. So I always say, just try. What's the worst that could happen if you try? If they say no, no one even knew that you were trying.
Yeah.
So if there's one thing that I've been able to do is knock on doors every single time. That first gig that I had, MTV had never had a correspondent from like Zimbabwe. They're like, okay, come through. Let's, you know, it had never been done. Yeah. But all it was a simple phone call to one person who knew one person, and that was it.
Amazing.
So I want to be known as a person who pioneered, who used to knock on doors and never stopped. Even when people would never expect a Zimbabwean to be there, I would say, why not? Why can't a Zimbabwean be there?
Sometimes the difference between somebody who builds a legacy and who has a longevity in their career and someone who doesn't is simply stamina.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And you have to have a lot of it. You have to have a lot of grit in this industry. But I mean, we do what we love.
Yeah.
So we don't see it like work.
Yes, girl.
Yeah.
Yes, girl. Except maybe like waking up at 4 in the morning sometimes feels a little bit like work.
I mean, it comes with the territory. Sometimes we have to wake up early. Sometimes we have to do more than. But, you know, it's worth it at the end of the day.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And just to end off the podcast, we have a really fun section that I love, which is just the quick fire around Zimbabwe. What is your favorite Zimbabwean snack?
Yo, Zimbabwean snack?
Yeah.
Okay, mangai.
Okay. Yeah? Fair enough. A song currently on repeat?
Yo, Joyful Praise. Hallelujah ngaive mumoyo. Yeah, that's my every season song.
Yes, girl.
Yeah.
That's a timeless song.
Yeah,
that's a forever song.
It is.
Your go-to outfit when you need to feel powerful?
Sure. Sneakers and shorts. I know that sounds crazy.
Okay.
But people don't expect that. But I mean, like, black is always a color for me to feel powerful. Yeah, I have a color, not an outfit, but
fair
a color.
Enough.
Yeah.
A Zimbabwean artist we all need to watch out for.
Right. Where do I start? I have a lot of them.
Okay, give us some.
Max Ari.
Ooh.
Max Ari is amazing.
Yeah.
It's #1 male. Females, Yamikani.
Yamikani is amazing.
Those two.
Yes.
If nothing happens over the next year, you can fire me.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
One place in Zimbabwe everybody should experience at least once in their lifetime.
The Eastern Border Highlands.
Oof.
I always say that when God created Earth, the Eastern Border Highlands were at his feet. Literally, that area is at God's feet. It's so beautiful. It was created, and God's inspiration for the rest of the world came from the Eastern Border Highlands.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. That's a beautiful... Makes me want to go right now, actually.
You need to.
And then finally, a cause that genuinely means something to you right now.
Education. We do book donations with the Zimbabwean Publishing House.
Amazing.
Up to date, I think it's been over $100,000 worth of books that we've donated. It's not something that I, constantly talk about, but it's a passion point because not every child has access to the internet. So sometimes they need physical copies of books. So Zimbabwe Publishing House has just really made it possible for me to be able to do that and just give back to the community. So education is so important. We underestimate it because we have access to it, but there are children who genuinely don't have access to the internet, don't have access to books. And there'll be 60, 70 of them in one class. So the teacher as well may struggle to give every one of them attention. And some children just go past the system. No one understands what's happening, but it's because they don't have that genuine one-on-one, interaction with the teacher. So I'm very passionate about education, about giving children access to books.
Amazing. I would love to put info under the video and podcast of where people might be able to get involved in that.
Yes, I mean, just my social pages, but even if you just DM me, if you want to just help
DM
out.
MisRed if you want to help donate books. Thank you so much for joining Hello Hi. It's been amazing hearing about your journey, your book, and your Zimbabwean roots. And as a little thank you, My Trees is an amazing nonprofit that Hello Hi has partnered with to reforest Zimbabwe. And so we are going to be planting an indigenous tree in your honor to say thank you for the episode because they are aiming to plant 1 million trees in Zim this year.
You know what? I think environmental issues are so important and not enough people are talking about it. Not enough people are doing anything about it, and people think it's maybe a myth. Climate change is happening. The environment needs us to care for it on a daily basis, not sometimes. 100%. So what you guys are doing is amazing. And
we
thank
need
you
our
for honoring me in that way.
So we'll have to go visit your tree.
Yes.
Maybe somewhere in the Eastern Highlands.
I'm telling you.
It's giving Zimbabwe. Yes, girl. Thank you so much for joining Hello Hi with Gemma and the amazing, glorious MisRed. And we'll see you next time. Big love. Mwah.